children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom.
Hi, today we're going to be working on clue number 4. Even though we make every attempt to make sure our quilts are completely accurate in our cutting, sometimes we do have a slight problem, and we have a little correction we need to share with you. We use the Electric Quilt 6 program to calculate the fabric required for the quilts that we prepare. Sadly, for some reason, and we're not quite sure why, it did underestimate a wee bit on our background fabric. But we have a couple of solutions. Some of you had already purchased extra or had extra from your stash. Some of you will be using a multi-colored background, assortments of backgrounds. And some of you bought exactly the right amount possibly. So if you are unable to get the additional fabric needed, we're going to show you a solution towards the end of what you can do to make your blocks come out just fine. You will need about a third of a yard more of the background. Be safe. If you have an extra half a yard, then I'd go ahead and get that if you need to make an additional purchase. So today we're going to go ahead and prepare to work on clue number 4. Get your baggie for clue number 4. And what we want to do is we want to take out our strips of fabric number 1. This is our medium print. And we are going to take our strips and we're going to subcut them into 3.5-inch squares. And you're going to need 24 of these. Go ahead and take time to subcut these into the 3.5-inch squares. And again, you'll only need 24 because we're making 24 blocks at this point. We'll meet you right back here to learn how to use your other fabric. Now what we need to do is work on our background fabric. Originally the instructions told you to cut 8 strips, but we're actually going to need to cut 4 more strips according to the instructions for the background of clue number 4. Once you have the additional strips cut, we're going to subcut these into 5-inch rectangles. So your units are going to look like this. Go ahead and do that. You're going to need 96 of these. If you do not have enough fabric, don't be alarmed. What you can do is pick an alternate background, just a little bit, and cut some of your units from that. And when we go to put the block together, we'll show you how you can lay them out in a neat pattern, and you'll still have no problem with the quilt going together. So again, go ahead and cut an additional 4 strips for clue number 4 of your background, and then subcut all of those into 96 5-inch rectangles. And we'll see you back here in just a minute on how to put those units. Now that we've got all of our cutting done, we can start to sew our units together. What we're going to be doing is completing the center unit of our block. What we want to do is take one of the background rectangles and the square of our color number 2. We're going to put them right sides together and sew 1/4 inch at one end. You will need to do 24 of these. Once you have them all sewn, then we can press them. And you want to press towards the background. Towards the background. And this is what the unit will look like. Once you have them sewn and pressed, we then want to add another rectangle to the other side of our center square. Sew it 1/4 inch seam, and again you're going to press towards the background. And your middle strip unit for your block will look just like this one on the bottom. Hopefully everybody can see that. You need to make 24 center strip units. In the event that you do not have enough of your original background fabric, this is the perfect place to use the substitute. You can use it on the left and right side of your center block unit, and it'll blend perfectly. You won't even notice a difference. It'll look like it was planned to be put there all along. If you have enough fabric, or if you were able to obtain more, then go ahead and use your continued color. Go ahead and do this step now. Again, pressing towards the background in each of the steps. And we'll see you back here in a few minutes to show you the next portion. Now once you've got those units finished, the 24 centers, we now want to go and get our suspect A bag. The suspect A units will look just like this, and you want to remove 24 of them from the baggie. You also, from your Clue 4 background, will need 24 of the rectangles. You're going to take a Suspect A. Let me just flip our board over here. And you're going to position it so that the color, your dark color, is in the lower right corner. And you're going to take one of your rectangles and you're going to put it just to the right of that. You're going to flip it over, right sides together, and using a 1/4 inch seam, we want to press, sew right down the side. Once you've done that, you're going to want to press towards the background for the finished unit to look just like this one. Again, you will need to make 24 units just like this. Go ahead and do that, and when you come back, we're going to show you how to add back to learn how to put on the next piece. You want to go to your Suspect B bag, Suspect B, and remove 24 of these units from the bag. Only 24. What we're going to be doing is adding them onto the unit that you just completed. So we have Suspect A sewn right sides together with our center unit, and then we're going to take Suspect B and we're going to add him onto the end. Again, using a 1/4 inch seam. So when we get done, our unit will look just like this. Be sure to press towards the background on both of these seams. This will ensure when we put our rows together that they nest. So go ahead and make 24 units that look just like this one. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Once you've completed the 24 rows as we showed you how to put together, and you've pressed the seams for the middle unit towards the middle, you now want to make another 24 just like this. So we are actually making a total of 48 rows. Once you have all of them complete, this is going to form the top of our block, and we take another one just like it, and we just spin it so that the colors are in the opposite corners, and that is going to form the bottom of our block. So again, we want to make 24 for the top, and then 24 just as we had shown for the bottom. Once we have all 24 done, we can then start to put the units together with our center unit. And bear with me because my board's a little smaller than the block is. If you have pressed towards the background each time, when you go to put them together, they're going to nest perfectly. This will become row 1, the center unit will be row 2, and this will be row 3. These are nothing more than sashing rows to join our outer Suspect blocks together. So go ahead and make 24 for the top, 24 for the bottom, and 24 for the middle, and then you can go ahead and put these together, and you have formed your first portion of the mystery quilt. So when you're done, you should have exactly 24 blocks. This is the end of our instruction for this week. Next week we'll be starting on our clue number 5. Be sure if you have a question or not sure about something, give us a call or come by the shop. We also want to thank you very much for helping us by voting for the Best in Chesapeake. We were voted Best in Chesapeake for bronze underneath the specialty store category. That's pretty good considering it was all write-in votes. Again, thank you for that honor. We hope that we can continue the fun. We also want to wish each and every one of you a very, very happy and blessed Mother's Day, and pray that you enjoy your day off, and maybe you'll get to have a little sewing time. So have fun, and see you next week.